Hello YouTube, Wes here, checking in with a brand new episode of the Vinyl Survivor. This is where I talk about the albums I've been listening to recently from my inbox, let you know what I thought of them, let you know where they're going to be staying in my collection or going away. Hope you're all doing well, having a great day, great night, whenever it is you're watching this. Let's go ahead and get into this. 10 albums up on the chopping block. Let's see what we got. First thing we have here is a piece of early audiophile material, I guess you could say. This is Audio Fidelity Sound Labs do Winter Nationals Drag Race 1964. The incredible sights and sounds of the Winter Nationals 1964. So this is sort of early stereo stuff, and you hear the cars zooming by as they race by, and you have all the different kinds of dragsters and stuff. And it was a fun listen. It was, it's kind of cool. I'm into cars, and I sort of like hearing all the old dragsters and hearing the different stuff, and hearing the radio announcers and the funny things, and being able to have sort of a time capsule from the 60s. But beyond that, this was kind of just sort of a one and done kind of thing. I'm sure it was a lot cooler in the early days of stereo to hear the cars zooming by and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, just really nice pictures on this one. Really nice design. Even continues on the inside, telling all the stories of the Pomona drag races and everything. And there's the Audio Fidelity silver label. Yeah, a cool sort of nostalgic, or not even nostalgic, just a cool sort of historic look back at some vintage drag racing, and it was as I say, it was fun to listen to, but I don't think this has much replayability for me personally, so it's going to be going away. It's not going to be staying in my collection. All right, so I've been picking up a lot of Caldera records lately. You've seen those in the inbox videos I've been doing. And this is the album that started it all. I picked this up back in 2015. This is Caldera's album titled Dreamer from 1970. What is the year on this one? 78 or so? 79 is the year on this one. Yeah, really cool Latin rock group. If you like Santana, you're going to like this group, Caldera. They're not directly sounding like Santana, but it's in that same sort of genre, and really just cool fusiony, jazzy Latin rock kind of stuff. Awesome stuff. So I really enjoyed this, and this was the album that made me want to get more of their albums. I picked this up at the library sale just as a blind buy, loved it, and decided I wanted to get more. And so people sort of give me crap for doing blind buys and buying stuff I don't really know what it is. This is why I buy stuff, so I can discover groups like this. So this does have an inner sleeve, which was, it's on the Capital Red label, so don't see that one too often, but yep. So Caldera with Dreamer definitely gets a thumbs up from me. Dug it. As I said, this was the album that got me into the group, so this is what made me want to buy more Caldera albums. And so yeah, this one's definitely staying in the collection. Definitely recommend checking them out if you haven't heard them before and you like fusion, Latin rock kind of stuff. Definitely a cool group. All right, this next one is a pickup from the library sale, and I didn't really know much about it at the time either. I knew it was electronic, so I went ahead and grabbed it, and that is Electric Tommy, the world's first rock opera. So this is early electronic album doing the songs from The Who's Tommy. It's not the entire thing, but it's got Pinball Wizard and Tommy Can You Hear Me and stuff like that. Yeah, so just cool early electronic music, very very bleepy and bloopy, and but cool and interesting dive into that world of electronic music back in the late 60s, early 70s. And this is done by Joe Renzetti. And it's on the Viva Records label, which is something I hadn't seen before, but pretty cool. Yeah, just another sort of discovery at the library sale, and thought I would like it, end up liking it. So yeah, this is staying in the collection. Pretty cool just to hear the sort of the electronic versions of the Who's Tommy, and it's fun, and I dig into this electronic stuff, and I really dug this one. So that's staying in the collection. All right, got some hip hop we're moving into here. This is some sort of early 2000s hip hop. We got Lil Jon and the East Side Boyz, Kings of Crunk. Yeah, just early sort of crunk music. I definitely dig this sort of stuff. Just fun to sort of get into, and when you're feeling in an upbeat kind of party kind of mood, I dig this kind of music. So yeah, I had this on CD for a while. Saw it on vinyl for cheap one day and went ahead and picked it up. So know this album well. It's definitely a liked album for me, and this one's gonna be staying in my collection. It is a 2 LP set, being that it originally was on CD. It does have some custom labels there. So yeah, that's just some fun, cheap hip hop, and I enjoy it. It's going to be staying in my collection. All right, next up, another piece of sort of early 2000s hip hop. We have Big Timers with Big Money Heavyweight. I don't know if you see, but this is the second album I've had react poorly to the Lysol wipes. I don't know what happened here. I've wiped down at this point probably over 1,000 albums with that method, and I've only had 2 that had a bad reaction. But yeah, it's kind of weird, unfortunate. But this is not real valuable or anything, so that's okay. But it's just fun to have this stuff on vinyl. Another one I really like. I like the sort of the Houston sort of hip hop, the Southern hip hop, that kind of stuff I really dig. So it's really cool to have this on vinyl. And there's a label on that one. So yeah, again, just some cheap hip hop and stuff I dig, and I own this on CD and like to own it on vinyl as well when I can pick them up for a few dollars. So that's what I did. That's staying in my collection. All right, next up, a cool one. I don't often find these, but when I do, I'm pretty happy about it, and I would love to be able to collect more of them. But that is the American Top 40 radio show, and this is the American Top 40 from 8/27/1988. This was before they could really make use of the internet or satellites or anything, so they would actually press records and send them to all the radio stations. So on Saturday morning or whatever, they could play the American Top 40 radio show. So that's what this is. I believe it's 4 LPs. This one even includes the commercials, which are fun. So you hear some 80s commercials in here. There's one of the records. And yeah, these are really difficult to find because the radio stations were supposed to destroy these after the show aired. So there's not many of these that survived, and there wasn't that many produced to begin with because only one per radio station. Anyway, so really cool when you find these. I always keep an eye out for them, and I wish I could find more because they're just really fun to listen to, really fun time capsules, and I'm glad to have this in my collection. All right, moving on back to some early electronic music. We have Walter Carlos or Wendy Carlos, Switched on Bach 2. So this is the second edition of the Switched on Bach series. Just doing some more electronic versions of classical music. And yeah, if you like the first one, you'll probably like this one as well. Just fun sort of early electronic stuff to listen to, different way to hear classical music. And that's on the Columbia Masterworks label. Walter or Wendy, now known as Wendy Carlos, Switched on Bach 2. Definitely gets a thumbs up from me and staying in the collection. All right, moving into some 70s rock here. Pop rock, kind of hard to pigeonhole, I guess you could say. This is Raikou with Into the Purple Valley from 1972. Really cool gatefold on this. Yeah, I've always enjoyed Raikou, and saw this at the library sale one time and picked it up, and hadn't heard it before. Just picked it up because I knew I liked Raikou, and definitely enjoyed listening to this. And it's on the Reprise orange label. So Raikou's into the Purple Valley. Definitely gets a thumbs up from me again. It's hard to explain what it is. You'll just have to listen to it if you haven't listened to Raikou before, but it's 70s groovy rock kind of stuff. Good stuff. If you maybe like Steely Dan and stuff like that, you might like this. So yeah, it's Raikou into the Purple Valley, staying in my collection. All right, next up I got a 12-inch single by the band Mars, and yes, it is Pump Up the Volume. And I do already have this on a 12-inch, but it does not have the picture sleeve. It just has a generic, I don't even know what label, 4th and Broadway sleeve on it. So it was cool to find this in a picture sleeve, so I thought I would show it again. Yeah, of course, this has got Pump Up the Volume, different versions on it. So there's that. It also has a song Antenna on it. 3 different versions of Pump Up the Volume, and then that B-side, it's Mars with Pump Up the Volume. Going to be putting that in the collection and taking out the one without the picture sleeve. And last but not least, how about some folk music? Don't run away just yet. We got one from Howie Mitchell here on the Folk Legacy label from 1962. This is part of the Interpreter series on Folk Legacy. Howie Mitchell was a multi-instrumentalist folk artist. He made a lot of his instruments. Really good player, really enjoyable. Definitely has sort of a mountain vibe to it. You know, very chill, a lot of dulcimer kind of stuff and things like that. Yeah, definitely dug this one. As usual with the Folk Legacy, it does come with the book that sort of goes into detail on the music, the artist, the instruments. Lots and lots of detail in these books, so it's really fun to sort of follow along, and it's sort of a nice piece where you can actually learn about the music you're hearing and learn about the artist and learn about the instruments. So it makes this folk music really fun, really nice sort of compilation and sort of treasured sort of pieces. There's the Folk Legacy label. And their Folk Legacy label was out of Connecticut, just a really small operation. They just were passionate about folk music and made these really nice recordings and releases of folk music. So that's going to do it for this episode of the Vinyl Survivor. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you're having a great day, great night. If you like the channel and you don't happen to be subscribed, please subscribe. Tell your friends if you think they'll like it. That's going to do it. 9 survived this time, so pretty good run. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, and we'll see you again real soon. Cheers.